Hi, everybody. Thank you. Sorry, technical difficulties. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is Gurpreet Korman with my LinkedIn for Entrepreneurs show, which happens every Tuesday. I'm sorry I was late, was on a client call, which ran a little bit over. So today I want to talk about LinkedIn algorithm. So what happens when you post your post on LinkedIn? What happens on the background, right? On the back end. Ever wonder how people are getting so many views on their posts or so much engagement? So that's what we're going to talk about, because as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we want to leverage LinkedIn content so that we can get customers DMing us and getting customers and leads for our businesses, right? And if we can't reach our potential clients and they're not seeing our posts or our content, then we're not reaching our potential target audience, right? So today I'm going to talk about the back end of LinkedIn and what really happens when you post on LinkedIn on the back end. So it's really important to understand the back end of LinkedIn. So that's what we call the algorithm, what is happening. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But before I kick off this segment, let me know who is tuned in and where you are tuning in from. Feel free to drop a comment, introduce yourself, let me know who you are. Also, if you're a business owner, because this is the entire segment's dedicated to business owners, solo entrepreneur, coaches, consultants, anybody that wants to get more leads from LinkedIn. This is my segment every Tuesday for LinkedIn entrepreneurs to get leads from LinkedIn. So that's all my sole focus is. Who am I? My name is Gurpreet Korman. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses that I run, and I get all my leads from LinkedIn. And I have built a successful business with zero marketing money. I spend zero money. And if you don't believe me, I have something to show you guys. I got a shout out today from an individual that I have helped as well on LinkedIn. Let me show you. So here's a little shout out that I got today from Sandy. The folks who have, yesterday was Valentine's Day, so she's giving me and someone else a shout out. When I was let go from my job and became exhausted from the corporate world, Gurpreet helped me discover my true passion that aligned with my strengths. I had crippling self-esteem, mental health issues, and immense self-doubt on the next move. She made me realize some of my weaknesses were strengths and assessed my entrepreneurship suited me. Yeah, definitely. Sandy definitely was suited for an entrepreneur. And turning my issues into non-issues, I've developed the courage and confidence to become a solo entrepreneur. She is a powerful woman who spends zero money on marketing, but managed to build an empire business through LinkedIn, get featured on Wall Street Journal, and much, much more. And I've gotten awards. So yes, thank you, Sandy, for the great shout out. I was honestly humbled and touched with this shout out. And it's true. I have built both of my businesses from LinkedIn, generating leads for my businesses as a solo entrepreneur myself. I'm a solo entrepreneur, which I'm actually now happy to be building a team for my coaching business. Anyone that wants to become a coach and want to join a team, I'm actually building a coaching teams. I'm building a team of coaches to join GKM Coaching. So if anybody out there wants to become a coach and wants to be part of a team, feel free to reach out to me, because I am building my team from coaches. I have successfully built a business. I get all my leads from LinkedIn straight into my DMs every single day, every single hour. I have DMs coming in to my LinkedIn. I'm hopping on calls with potential clients, and I am getting my clients all through LinkedIn. I have spent zero money in marketing. I don't remember the last time I've gone to a trade show. I stopped all that. In 2018 was the last time I did a trade show. And I went basically really head on straight on LinkedIn, content after content. I was one of the first people to get the LinkedIn Live back in 2019, and beta testing as well. So I am full on passionate about LinkedIn. I know a lot of things about LinkedIn, and today we're going to talk about LinkedIn algorithm. So what really happens when you post? So here's what happens when you post. When you post and write a post on LinkedIn, what LinkedIn does first is it does a test run, right? So when you post, it automatically in the background first it tests for quality. Is it poor quality? Is it low quality post? Is it a spam post? Is it a marketing post? Or is it high quality, right? So first thing is they're going to test your post. So you have to clear that test. Once you get cleared into the cleared the test, then LinkedIn looks at, okay, so now that it's not spam, it's not marketing, it's not low quality content, now let's look at, then they move you to second phase. Second phase is, well, they're going to send that post to a small test group, we call it. They're sending it, yes, they're only making your post visible to few groups of people. And it's randomly picked, okay? It's not like handpicked, they're going to send it to this person. So they send your post to a few smaller groups of individuals, and then they're testing it. Well, is this person going to like your post? Is this person going to write a comment? And then LinkedIn kind of has a point system. Think of a point system. So every person that likes your post, you get one comment, 1 point. Everyone that writes a comment on your post is now getting 2 points for it. And then anybody that shares your content, you just got 3 points. So let's look at the point system, right? Someone likes your post, you get 1 point. Someone comments on your post just got 2 points. Someone shares, you got 3 points, right? So it kind of becomes a point game system for LinkedIn. So that's why the more people that are liking and commenting and sharing your post, the more your post is now becoming pushed out more onto LinkedIn, people's feeds, right? People's news feeds are being pushed with your content. So that's how LinkedIn is, the algorithm a little bit works in the back end. Now, if your post got low quality, spam, it depends on people, right? So let's say I see a post on LinkedIn and I didn't like what I'm seeing, and I'm constantly seeing posts from this person, and this person constantly writing low quality posts, and I just don't want to see on my feed, I'm going to unfollow that person, or I'm going to just mark that post as, report the post as spam or stuff like that, right? So on the back end, what you're not seeing is how many people are flagging your post. That will get you your post flagged and puts you in a poor quality, and your post is not going to get pushed out to people, right? So how do we avoid all this, the content? How do we make sure that we are writing our content that we're posting gets cleared? Okay, the first step is we want to get our post cleared in the clear zone as a good quality post. Then we want to get people to engage and comment on our post, okay? So let's talk on this phase now. So how do you write content that's going to be quality? What I call is LinkedIn worthy content. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to write when I teach LinkedIn content as a coach I have a coaching program for LinkedIn. I also work with people one-on-one. When I teach people how to write LinkedIn content, or when I'm writing, I have a couple of clients right now whose LinkedIn content I'm working on, rewriting it. You have to write it in a way that LinkedIn, first we just got to understand what the platform's all about. LinkedIn's a professional business platform where there's 90% of us are all professionals. Sometimes there's odd times where we've seen some unprofessional posts, but you got to understand the audience on LinkedIn first, right? So it's a business platform, professional platform. We're all professionals, where we come on to share our expertise, our professional lives with people. Sure, we're also sharing some personal aspect of it, right? So what post would be considered quality post? when you're sharing an expertise or you're giving advice, anything your target audience will benefit from is a good quality post. Okay, when you are just selling and selling, I see people do this. What it would be considered a poor low quality post is when you're telling someone, hey, do you want this? Hey, write a comment on my post and I will send you a free X, right? That is spam and that is bad quality post. And that post will never get pushed out. I've seen a couple of posts like this and I so want to tell this person, this post is not going to do well, and stop doing this post where you're telling people, hey, do you want recruiters to reach out to you on LinkedIn? Then write a comment below and I will send you a free copy of my guide. That type of post will get flagged as poor quality, will get spammed. It will get marked as spam because you're getting people to write comment because you're trying to pitch them to, I'll send you a free copy of something, right? That's marketing, that's sales, and we want to try to avoid those type of gimmicks. Second thing that you don't want to do is, what you want to do is add value to your audience, right? We want to nurture those relationships. So you can share what I've seen two posts that do really, really well with algorithm in the back end and with generally just people, right? Is that when you share a success story or when you're sharing a vulnerable post like your failure and the lessons you've learned, those are great posts. You can talk about how your product has, like, you can touch on pain. When you touch on people's pain, that post is going to do wonders. Okay, that post is going to do great, 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 great. Like, I mean, it's going to do great. Anytime I have gone full on vulnerable on any of my content, that content will skyrocket. Last year, I had a lot of vulnerability moments that I was openly sharing. And that's also a way of showcasing people that you're real, you're human, and people resonate with real human people, right? So what we want to do is, we want to touch on the pain. What I call is drop the bond, do the pain. So today I wrote a post that I will show you that is doing phenomenally well. So let me use my post as an example of what would be considered a good post. So I'll show you guys what would be considered a good post and what would be considered a bad post. Do all my posts do well? No. Do I care about the LinkedIn algorithm? No. And I'm going to share why you shouldn't either. But let's first go into what posts will do good on LinkedIn. So let's look at this, okay? So today I did a post, this one right here, okay? I just posted this 3 hours ago. It's a poll. It has 4,8888 views. Well, lucky number right there, if anybody's into that. I am, so that's a good sign. Okay, so I wrote a post. I've seen, so this post, why is it doing well? One, it's a poll, okay? By the way, LinkedIn loves polls, quality polls, okay? Can't just be any type of poll. A poll would generally do better than any other type of LinkedIn content because LinkedIn will push the polls. But the quality of the poll has to be there. I've seen people do poll and their poll numbers are low. If you want to reach, if you really want to reach a massive audience, do a poll, but it has to be quality. For example, I'm talking about, have you been asked to do a take home assignment as part of the hiring process from an employer? Yes, no, other comments, right? Then I wrote a little bit of a blurb. How do you feel? So I kept it very short. Okay, short posts will phenomenally do really, really well on LinkedIn, okay? Because nobody has time and no one really reads full-on posts. So try to keep the post short and sweet, okay? So how do you feel when an employer asks you as a candidate to complete a take-home assignment, put together a 90-day plan, put together a social media strategy, basically assigning you work to do and complete as part of their recruitment process? How do you as a candidate really feel about this? Tell me in the comment section, okay? So now what's happened is I posted this and right away I started getting engagement. Okay, so because I also inviting people to tell me, how do you really feel about this? Tell me in the comment section. So I'm inviting them to have a conversation with me. And then you see that individuals are writing comments, right? And as people are writing comments, I'm replying back to that comment. And this is further now signaling LinkedIn that there's engagement happening, right? Common mistake I see people making on LinkedIn is that they have engagement happening on their LinkedIn content where people are writing comments, but they're not replying back to them. So you're losing out on a whole big engagement on the back end of the LinkedIn, right? The more people having conversations in your post, the more it's gonna signal LinkedIn in the back end to keep pushing your posts. And that's what you want to do. You want to engage with people. When every time someone writes a comment on your post, reply back to them. This was just a duplicate. So I replied back to every single person that wrote a comment. And now what's going to happen is everyone that wrote a comment, now for example, this Kushbu wrote a comment. Now my post is visible to her network and her follower base, okay? Erica wrote a comment. Now my post is visible to her network and her follower base. Same thing with Lori. Same thing with Gary, right? All these people that wrote a comment on my post, now my post is visible to their network and followers. Anybody that participated in like the emojis, now my post is visible to them. So LinkedIn has a ripple effect. I mean, like to literally a ripple effect, right? So what we want to do is, here's what you don't want to do. And I see people doing this all the time because they want to beat the LinkedIn algorithm. They go nuts tagging people in the comments and in their posts so that they get more visibility. That to me is the most sleaziest way to get people to view your post. And all you're going to do is just you're rubbing people the wrong way, and people are going to just unfollow you, or they're going to remove themselves from the tag, and they're going to either message you and tell you not to do it. They will just unsubscribe to you or flag your post as spam. Like, you just want to avoid all that. That's a sleazy way to get views on your post. I know LinkedIn tells you to do this. I know tons of LinkedIn gurus that so-called LinkedIn, I call them so-called LinkedIn gurus. Anybody that's telling you to tag people in your post and comments clearly don't know how to write content, because anybody that knows how to write good quality content on LinkedIn and is truly a LinkedIn coach, they would never tell you to tag a bunch of people on a post, because you don't need that. You don't need these tricks and gimmicks that are sleazy and slimy and just cheap, right? That's also a fastest way to lose credibility. Now, if you really want to beat the LinkedIn algorithm, you have to keep in mind the key here is quality. Your LinkedIn post cannot be spam. It cannot be marketing gimmicks, and you can't be selling things on LinkedIn. You can. There's a way to do it in a quality way. So before you write your LinkedIn post, that's what you want to remember is that LinkedIn checks for quality of each post. And that's the first test you have to pass when you are posting on LinkedIn, because that's what the LinkedIn algorithm's all about on the back end is they test a post. They want to make sure the quality of the post is there. They're going to check to make sure it's not a spam, it's not marketing gimmick. And also if anybody hasn't flagged it, right? So low quality. They don't want low quality content on their platform. And if it gets highlighted as a low quality spam or marketing gimmick, boom, gone. Like, your post is not going to get pushed to anybody, okay? So the key here to beat the algorithm back end is to understand the algorithm, and we want more people liking, engaging. So my LinkedIn Live from yesterday, 2,400, right? So here's another post I wrote 4 days ago, okay? Only got 1,884 views. I wrote, this is a little bit long post, and is why it didn't do so well, okay? Does this sound like you? I'm talking to people, plus it's a Friday night or Saturday when I wrote this. Is it good? Sure, maybe for someone. For many people, this number might be high. For me, it's not. But again, I'm just showing you. Here's another one. Take home assignments to Candace, part of recruitment. Do you assign? So here's another post that I wrote. So here's this one got 5,000 views. I mix up my content with polls as well as LinkedIn and actually, and without polls. So if you look at my content, anything with polls has higher numbers, anything with no polls has lower numbers. So this goes on and on as well. I have posts that have hit close to a million views. I've had posts that hit over 700, 100K, 6-figure views as well. The key is, here's what I always tell people. I don't care about the LinkedIn algorithm. I know how the algorithm on the back end works, but when we get too caught up on the LinkedIn algorithm, then we tend to, what I found is then we get lost in our messaging. But if we stick to writing quality message that is authentically you, write the way you speak. Okay, you want to showcase you as well. And the way to do that is to be real. The more real you are with your post content writing, the more you showcase who you are, your personality, the more people will resonate with you. I would say let's not make it into LinkedIn algorithm. Let's beat the LinkedIn algorithm. I don't teach people how to beat the LinkedIn algorithm. What I teach when I teach content writing is to people is let's focus on quality. Let's focus on who are you targeting. You have to speak to your target audience. We want to touch on their pain point. What are they struggling with? And then give them tips and advice so that they can overcome that struggle. If you're giving advice, that is considered quality post. If you're talking on something really important, it will be considered quality post. Don't be afraid to voice on something that you stand for, either in that someone may not like it. Someone may not like it, or someone may be against you. So that's how algorithm works. If anybody has a question, let me know in the comment section. I don't know what, my nose is itchy. Sorry about that. But look at me. I come onto this platform. I try to be real. My nose is itching. I'm telling you, like, I'm just keeping it real, right? The more real you are, I guarantee you the more results you're going to get on this platform. The more you're trying to be someone you're not, people will see it, right? Stay away from motivational posts. I don't know why people write motivational posts or motivational quote. If you really want more leads for your business, then you need to touch and speak on your target audience pain and keep speaking to their pain and giving them advice and tips on how to overcome that pain. I guarantee you'll get more leads in your LinkedIn DMs. Does it matter if it's a video or image? No, it doesn't. The number one post content does really, really well is poll. Number two post that does really, really well, believe it or not, is still text post. It's not videos, it's not images. Number two posts that do really, really well on LinkedIn, they're all, number one, it's all text-based. Poll are all text. Poll and text are the number one posts that do really, really well. That's why I love LinkedIn. It's so simple. It's so easy. You don't have to have a video. You don't need to have images. Can you have images? Sure. You can once in a while showcase yourself. You can have a picture of yourself. Anytime I have a picture of myself, that post always does well because people get to see you, right? Pictures of yourself showcase about you. Those posts will do well, but number one post that does really, really well on LinkedIn is text post. Is it necessary to add credentials while uploading certifications on LinkedIn profile? Sure, you should have your credentials if you want to upload on the LinkedIn profile. You should have all your credentials listed. You should have upload them because it's the best way to get credibility, right? We're trying to build social proof. We're trying to build credibility for ourselves. And the more authentically we're doing it, the better it's going to be. And the more social proof we're supporting it, the more it's going to work best for us. So go even get those recommendations for LinkedIn. Okay, so that's, if anybody has a question about LinkedIn algorithm, feel free to message me. If you don't know how to write LinkedIn content that's LinkedIn worthy, I actually provide this as a service. I'm already working with a couple of people and revamping their LinkedIn content, rewriting the LinkedIn content so it gets more views. Every time I've written someone's content, they've seen a huge spike in their views because there is an art to writing LinkedIn worthy content. Believe it or not, many social media agencies don't know how to do this either, and they're doing it wrong. And I'm correcting so many of my clients' posts where they've gotten social media experts to manage their social media, but they're just leveraging all the posts across the channel and copying and pasting into across all platforms. But LinkedIn is a different beast. What works on Facebook, it's not going to work on LinkedIn. What works on Instagram, which is all visuals and images, is not going to work on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a different platform. People consume content differently. People like real, genuine content. Okay, people do like hearing success stories. People do like hearing failure stories. People do like people being vulnerable. Vulnerable, if you can be vulnerable, your post will do really, really well. Because that shows you're human, right? So if anybody wants to take me up on a challenge, I would love for you to do this. Is share one vulnerability post, something you learned, something that maybe is something a very tragic moment in your life or a very dark moment of your life. If you're willing to share the details without pitching it as a motivational, people tend to, I've seen people try to be vulnerable, but what they do is they go straight into, I experienced this, but here's what I did to overcome it, and I became so successful in X. That's not vulnerability. If you want to write a true vulnerable post, what you want to do is be real. Don't talk about anything positive. Talk about, for example, I talked about last year, I talked about, here's an example of a real vulnerability post. I talked about how my doctor told me in my physical last year that if I want to have kids, then I need to pop a baby right now. Otherwise, my window is just getting smaller and smaller, right? I was 41 last year. I'm going to be 42 next month. And that really hit me really home, like to the point that at the moment didn't hit me, but when I came home, the more I thought about it, the tears were rolling down my face. I was crying. I really felt the emotion of, oh my God, like I'm 41, and if I want to have a baby, I need to pop in now. But I'm single. I don't have anybody in my life. How do I do this? Like there were so many emotions going through me. I made a video and I posted on LinkedIn. I wrote the post. I didn't spin it in any positive way. I didn't sit there and say, but it's okay. What's meant to be is meant to be, even though people were writing that comment. But I kept it real. I kept it real. I talked about my emotion, every emotion I was feeling, every feeling I was feeling, every thought that was going through my head. That's what I talked about. I didn't try to spin the situation in a positive way because it wasn't at the moment. And that's how you write a vulnerable post. Stop trying to spin every situation to a positive, because not everything can be positive in the moment, right? Some things take time. Like today I can sit there and say I'm in a positive state about my whole, would I have kids or not? I don't know. And I'm okay with it. I've healed myself from that situation. I believe I'm meant to do way bigger things and have a bigger impact. So today, if a doctor told me I'm okay with it because I'm going to be 42, I'm okay. I've healed from it. But at that moment when I was talking about it, I didn't spin it in a positive way. I touched on real points of being a woman in her 40s, and then you're hearing this and your egg's about to expire, and all the information the doctor shared with me and how I felt. That's vulnerability, and that's how you write a vulnerable post. Okay, love that. I add vulnerability post often, or when I moved. Yeah, so vulnerability posts do really well. Lastly, what you can do is, if you really want to help with the LinkedIn algorithm, here's number one tip I would give is start supporting other people's content. So if you want people to support your content, you have to first start supporting other people's content. Start writing comments on other people's posts. They will generally, naturally return the favor. Okay, you don't need to tag a bunch of people into your post to get them to see it. Just start commenting on other people's posts regularly, and I guarantee you those same individuals will start commenting on your post. I have a circle like that. We comment on each other's posts and they comment right back on my post. I comment on their post, they will comment on my post. So that's how you beat the LinkedIn algorithm. Start engaging with other people's content and they will do the same for you. Okay, so I hope this helps. If anybody needs any help with writing LinkedIn content to get more views on your LinkedIn content, you want me to do an audit of your LinkedIn content, feel free to DM me. I'll be happy to do a complimentary audit of your content, and I'm happy to help you get more views and turn your LinkedIn into a lead magnet for your business so you get more leads built into your pipeline and spending zero money on marketing ads. You don't need to have ads or anything like that because LinkedIn's all organics. Let's take advantage of LinkedIn while we can, because I guarantee you soon enough, LinkedIn's gonna get so saturated just like Facebook did, and then it's gonna get harder and harder. Right now is the prime time to be on LinkedIn and take advantage of the organic leads that you can get, the organic reach that you can get this moment from writing content on LinkedIn and turning your LinkedIn profile into a lead magnet. Need help? DM me right now, okay? Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Bye, guys.